Fury, that new World War II movie, there haven't been a lot of good ones, haven't there? I mean, I'm not an old man, so World War II is not a huge interest of mine, but all the best war movies seem to be about Vietnam, Apocalypse Now, Platoon, and that's it pretty much. To use a critic's favorite word, cliche, this is an example of a movie that is well made enough to transcend all of those, even if it uses a lot of them. And maybe it was just because I was in a good mood. I went through my weekly ritual as I do when I watch movies. I style my long hair, I put on my blazing black jacket instead of my trademark gray one. I get a little blazed up. I show up early so I can get the back seat in the theater. I don't like the feeling of people sitting behind me because if you do need to text once in a while during a movie, the back seat's really the best place for it. Oh yeah, I do it sometimes. Everyone does it. The old people text in the theater. The world is on my ass 24/7. What can I do? Fuck off. I'm pushing over Grandpa in his walker to get to that back seat. And when the lights dim, oh my goodness, that's one of the greatest feelings ever, man. With that calm yoga piano music, it feels like all your worries are being washed away as the lights dim and giant images start looming over you. I don't care if it's Medea goes to rehab coming up. It always starts off on a high note. I can say that much. Look, all I'm trying to say to you right now, before I get to the review, is explain the best I can why I keep giving movies 3-star ratings. And it's often because I can't make up my mind whether or not I like a movie, because there's so many different factors. I usually don't mention my ratings in my reviews because I figure it distracts from the message of what I'm saying, and you should be watchful enough to see it when I say click on the trailer below and my blog, and I trust you to do that because you're a loyal viewer. That after you're done with this review too. But I can't dislike this movie. It's too interesting for that. There are a lot of parts that just made me go, it's like a bit too cutesy of a fish out of water film about a new guy who's not properly trained in the U.S. Army, who's now inexplicably sent with the top tank troop in the U.S. forces in Nazi Germany. The tank, of course, is called Fury, and it serves as a home to all 5 of these troops, led by Brad Pitt, a really noble hero, plays it just right with the right amount of charisma. Not as much craziness as in Inglourious Basterds. His heart is in the right place, though, just like Tom Hanks in Shaving Ryan's Privates. But otherwise, that gooey star-spangled bullet cry fest, it ain't shit compared to Fury, and I'll tell you why. Couple of reasons. This movie has balls the whole way through. It doesn't tell you who to root for. I mean, even though it should be obvious, yeah, you should. I mean, for this war at least, you should definitely root for the Allies, but it really keeps the morals of the soldiers themselves. It really puts them on an even keel, so to speak. Our protagonists don't pride themselves on being heroes. They're rather selfish in their motives and have a right to be so, and that's really realistic. In real war, people don't have the energy to lie and bullshit themselves into thinking they are dying for you. That's only if they survive and get to be old people. They can brag to their grandkids about that. Right now, in this war, they kill on instinct, because it's kill or be killed. That's the reality of every war. They're not thinking at all about you. This movie makes that statement so well, and this is just as gory as Spielberg's movie, only it doesn't capitalize on that violence and shove it in your face. Like, ugh, you will feel, and they don't linger on the screams of the guy pulling his intestines out of his stomach and crying, Mommy, I want to go home. I scream for ice cream. Because that's nauseating. And it's a cue to cry. It's just a cue card by Spielberg. And this one is so much better, Fury. It's directed by David Ayer. And yeah, that Omaha beach scene in Saving Private Ryan, oh yeah, that was realistic. Bullshit. It was an over-the-top Hollywood attempt at realism. But my grandpa fought in that battle, and he said that is the most realistic depiction. Yeah, your grandpa has Alzheimer's and can't even remember his daughter's own name. Philip, get in there! Shoot him! Shoot him! No! Dad, I'm Tammy. I'm your daughter. Open up for the applesauce. Here comes the plane. Choo-choo. No, the plane! The plane! We're going down! You see, he can't remember shit. On the other hand, this movie lets you decide how you want to feel when you see a whole severed Nazi face lying on the ground. An actual shaved face on the ground. You can recognize the face for the split second that it's on screen. But the face doesn't cry, Heil Hitler, fuck America, because it's not trying to make you feel a certain way. Like a lot of war movies, it is very episodic. It plows its way through a bunch of set pieces, the best involving the tank fights, which we don't see a lot in movies, and they are terrific, intense, brutal action sequences with plenty of mucky mud mixed with the blood. When you ask what's the main visual factor in this movie, it's mud. That's all. But the action scenes, the technique used, the teamwork involved, they all have their different positions in the tank and they have to steer it the right way. It's slow and powerful war artillery versus these fast gophers popping out of their holes with guns. And it's genius how intense the one battle scene is where they have to move past the other one in order to win. It's like a game of Battleship. The last battle scene is the most poignant in the whole film, though, and without giving too much away, with the green and red blazing ammo like Star Wars and a smoky, fiery night, it looks like Christmas. It's almost like a magical scene, but it also sort of ties up the whole grim message. Um, the heroism. It says that this heroism depicted. It's obviously a stupid decision. It is the most rash, dumbest decision Brad Pitt makes in terms of leadership. He's a caring leader, but he's not a very good one. These soldiers are not at all smart. They're so lucky to survive as long as they do. But their reasons for making these decisions, it shows the mental damage of war. They really don't care. Again, it's instinct. They want to kill because they want to kill people. And that moral question is put to the test by the single most annoying character in the movie, unfortunately lowering the score for me a bit, who is kind of the main character, which makes it even worse. Logan Lerman, this guy is such a wimp, such an annoying dish soap little bitch that Shia LaBeouf, who's in this movie, he gets up in one scene and tells him what it means to be a man. I'm like, wow, when Shia LaBeouf has to say, quit being such a little bitch, you need to turn in your dick. Hand it here, kid. Look, Shia is serviceable in the role. Honestly, I only counted one stutter. I don't care. He's this weird preacher dude with a Frenchy mustache. That's all I know. He's okay. We also have Michael Pena as the Mexican who shouts random Spanish phrases between rounds of ammo just so you know he's Mexican. And Shane from The Walking Dead is another loudmouthed, animalistic douche coon. Not really a change for him. But surprisingly, I wanted him more in the movie just so he can keep beating the shit out of that little faggot pacifist bitch who keeps poisoning this movie with his presence. I mean, this guy has a mental breakdown after one fight where no one even gets hurt. He's a damsel in distress just because he needs to reload his gun. I can't do this anymore. I'm like, come on, bitch, you were here for 5 minutes. But even though I felt nothing for any of these guys, Brad Pitt still holds the movie together as a stable leader, and he's such a stable presence. I think he holds it together as well as Tom Hanks did in Saving Private Ryan. Of course, this being the far better film. Despite the annoying presence of that kid, I recommend the movie if you enjoy war movies. This is one of the best I can think of in recent memory. It kicks the Monuments Men right out the window. And I was oddly inspired by the lead performance, so watch the trailer and read my blog in the link below.